What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Be Modified. Just like the title says, today we're going to be installing this Underglow kit. So here's what the kit looks like. This is the control module for the remote, and it comes with an option to either hardwire it or you can have it hooked up to your cigarette lighter. And as you can see, it comes with quite a bit of wiring to each one of the lights. And then here you got one of your lights that sticks onto the car with this 3M. So here's what the light itself looks like. Pretty good quality. The lights are waterproof. And then over here I've got a couple of extension wires. It just recommended that you buy these along with it online. So I got those just in case they were needed. And then as you can see here, we have our remote. We're going to go under the car, figure out where we want to mount these strips at, and then we're going to use our degreaser to clean those areas. And then we're going to clean that off with some soapy water. And then we're going to clean all that off with just some straight water, get it all really nice and dry, and then we can go ahead and start sticking on our Underglow kit. Now that we're under the car, considering I don't have my front splash guard, skid plate, whatever you want to call it underneath here, I'm going to mount my front strip to this cross member right here. And moving on to the side of the car, I'm going to go ahead and mount these strips right on the inside lip here, on the inside of this lip, just on the bottom of the car, so that way it won't be visible to the traffic, but it'll still shine down on the ground really nice, because that's the law with these things. They cannot be visible. The bulbs themselves cannot be visible, so that's why we're going to put it just on the inside of this lip right here. And so we'll do that on the other side as well. And now moving on to the back of the car. Everything gets kind of tricky back here because there's not really a stretch long enough for the strip that goes on the back or the front. And as you can see, we have this huge hump down here for the spare tire in the trunk. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and mount the strip right along this piece right here. And then wherever it goes up the side here is where it goes up. So we'll go ahead, get all 4 areas cleaned up with our degreaser, our soapy water, and then regular water, get them all dried off, and we can go ahead and start installing this kit. I got the car all cleaned up. As you can see here, I've laid out the whole kit. Right here we've got our 2 shorties. The one in the back there with the extra wire is for the back of the car. This is our wire loom that's supposed to connect to the battery. And over here we got our 2 long ones for the side skirts. So the next step is to go ahead and figure out where we're going to run the wires that come from the battery supply. Which on my car that should be pretty easy to determine because I've already got a wire running through the firewall to the battery for my trunk button. Let's go ahead and get that ran, and then we can start sticking these lights on. So I found a spot in the firewall where I could run the wires through. As you can see, I went ahead and removed the wheel and the back inner fender liner just so that we can do this process a lot easier. So right here's where the wire is coming through the firewall, and ran this wire this way. And as you can see here, I already separated all 4 wires so that they can be split off into what direction I want them to go. And then the power wire just follows these other 2 wires I have that are for my trunk button. And it goes through there. And then we go up here, and my power wire right here just runs up from down on the other side of the battery there. And then if you follow these wires, these are my wires coming up through here for my trunk button, and they're plugged in to the fuse box here, and I believe it's either my accessory spot or the instrument panel that they're plugged into. I don't have my factory manual for the car. I just looked up online, and I believe it's one of those two, which the button works all the time whether the keys don't or not. So I think that's what I'm going to do, is run the power for those underglows over to the same spot that my trunk button is. So that's where we're going to put the power at, and once we get all the lights installed, we'll test it and see if it works. If not, we'll go ahead and put it over on the battery. Alright guys, so the very first thing that we're going to do is the front here. And what we want to do is go ahead and try to get it centered up in here. Alright guys, so everything is done, wired up. As you can see, with all my excess wires, I just curled them up into a ball and zip tied them back in the corner there. So now I'm just going to put my inner fender liner back in, put the wheel back on, get this thing down off the jack stands, and we can test out these underglows. Alright guys, so now that you've seen how to install these underglows, all I need for y'all to do now is hit that share button and help me get this channel to 500 subscribers. And when that happens, 3 times each, every subscriber's name will go into a drawing to see about getting your own set of underglows. But for right now, enjoy the show.